Hey guys, got into football here, back with another video, and today's video is Europa League score predictions round of 16. So it's a round of 16 ties. If it's round of 16 ties, so if you win the round of 16, you go through to the quarterfinals. Obviously, my team Wolves are still in it, so I just hope they do well. Right, let me just go through all the ties that have been played over the first leg. Olympiacos versus Wolves, Last versus Manchester United, Istanbul versus Copenhagen versus Copenhagen, Rangers versus Leverkusen, and Wolfsburg versus Shaktar Donetsk, and also Frankfurt and Basel. Sevilla versus Roma hasn't been played. The first leg hasn't been played, or Inter versus Getafe first leg hasn't been played. So Sevilla and Roma will just play their second leg, which will be counted as any sort of result in that game will mean that they go through to the quarterfinals. So right then guys, let's just get straight into the video then. Right, the first game is Copenhagen versus Istanbul Başakşehir. It's today and it's a 5:55 kickoff. Honestly, the first tie, Istanbul Başakşehir won the first leg by 1-0. Just before I tell you the prediction of this result, right, so the first legs that have already been played, all the teams will play their second legs. But if all the teams, some of the teams have played no leg, they'll just play the second leg. So I thought I'd just tell you that. Right. The first game is Copenhagen versus Istanbul Başakşehir. It's the first game today at 5:55. So it was 1-0 to Istanbul last game. So I think this result will be 1-1. Obviously Istanbul got an away goal, so when you usually got an away goal you tend to win. So the reason why I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So I think it'll end 2-1 to Istanbul. That's why I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Right, on to the next game, which is Shaktar Donetsk versus Wolfsburg. Just seeing if they've played their first leg. Yeah, they did. Just seeing what the result was in the first leg. The result ended 2-1 to Shaktar Donetsk in the first leg. But for this game, I am going to say a win to Wolfsburg here. I'm going to say Shaktar Donetsk 0, Wolfsburg 2. Because whenever I watch Wolfsburg play in the German Bundesliga, they look like a good team, to be honest. And I think they'll win this one, because they usually win one week and lose the next week. So therefore I'm predicting them to win. So right, on to the next game, is Inter Milan versus Getafe. They haven't played their first leg, so they'll just play their second leg. So any result will just count as if whatever the result is in the second leg will mean either Inter or Getafe go through. So for this game, however, because I think Getafe have done well to get where they have, but I just think that Inter are going to be too strong for them behind closed doors. Also, let me tell you one thing before I tell you the prediction of this result, that the teams that haven't played their first legs will play their second legs at a neutral location at a different venue. Neutral location, yeah. So I am going to say Inter Milan 3, Getafe 1. I just think Inter Milan will just be far too strong for Getafe. So right, on to the next. I forgot to tell you what the score was in the first leg for Inter versus Getafe. Oh, 1 sec, it wasn't played, so they'll just have their second leg tonight, so it hasn't been played yet. So right, then we move on to Man U versus Lask. Right, Manchester United versus Lask. Obviously it ended 5-0 to Manchester United in the first leg, so I think they're guaranteed that they're going through. They'll probably play their weakened team tonight. They probably will play their weakened team. I am going to go for, I think they will play the weakened team, but I think Mason Greenwood will play as he's only 18 still. So I'm going to go for Manchester United 3, Lask 0. But I'll be looking to make it another 5 goals because he might want to try and win 10-0 over 2 legs. But I am going to say 3-0, which will mean it's 8-0 over 2 legs. So I think it would just be 3-0. I think they will still make it through with the backup team. So right, let's just move on to the next few games. Which are, let me have a look. Just having a look for them now. Right, the first game of Thursday is Sevilla versus Roma. Obviously, they didn't play their first leg, so they'll just play the second leg, and it will be in a neutral location, just like the Inter Milan Getafe game. Honestly, well, Roma aren't at their best, but Sevilla know how to win the Europa League. Before the rules changed in the Europa League of whoever won the Europa League were going to the Champions League automatically, they actually won it 3 times in a row. So honestly, I think they'll know how to do it against Roma. So I am going to say Sevilla 2, Roma 0, because they know how to win this competition. Maybe they don't necessarily mean win the competition, but I think they've got a good chance of winning it again. So right, let's move on to the next game, which I'll just look out for now. The next game of tomorrow is Bayer Leverkusen versus Glasgow Rangers, where currently Bayer Leverkusen are winning 3-1 against Glasgow Rangers, so they got 3 away goals, so it's going to be tough for Glasgow Rangers. However, I am going to say it's going to be a win. It can be a win for Bayer Leverkusen. I'm going to say 2-1 to Bayer Leverkusen, because I think it'll be far too much for Rangers, knowing they've got 3 away. That Bayer Leverkusen have got 3 away goals, and they've got players like Kai Havertz in that team. Kai Havertz, they've got a good team there, to be honest. So I think they'll just be too good for Rangers. So right, let's just move on to the next game, which is, I'm just having a look now for the next game, which is Basel versus Frankfurt. Well, Basel, we all know, won 3-0 in the first leg. So honestly, I think they'll go through. Yeah, I think they will go through. Frankfurt have not been at their top of their game this season, but they did play well the other season under Luka Jovic when they had a good striker there, and they got knocked out by Chelsea in the Europa League semi-final, so they did quite well that season. Well, they could still get through. You just don't know in the Europa League, do you? But I am going to go for a win for Frankfurt here. I'm going to say Frankfurt 2, Basel 1, because Frankfurt tend to win one week and lose the next week, just a bit like Wolfsburg. So I think they'll go for everything in that game, because I think Basel really were just slight underdogs, really, weren't they? Right, on to the next game, which is Wolves versus Olympiacos. My team, Wolves, and we play Olympiacos, the Greek champions. Wow. In the first leg, it was 1-1, and that was behind closed doors. So for this game, I am going to say Wolves 2, Olympiacos 1. Knowing that they can't qualify for Europe next year and they've got to win the competition, they're going to be going for it all, aren't they? So I think it's going to be Wolves 2, Olympiacos 1. Knowing that they're at Molineux and they've been given the go-ahead to play at their home stadium, I think they could get a result. So that's all of my results today. All of my predictions for today. Let me just read a thing I told you about Sevilla versus Roma and Inter Milan versus Getafe. So Sevilla versus Roma and Inter Milan versus Getafe, first legs that were cancelled, not to be rearranged. They will just play their second legs, which is just over one round, and any result will, and any team that wins that game will go through to the quarterfinals. So that'll do it for today, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please do give it a like, and please do give it a like. I am sorry that I've brought out this video late. It was because I was really ill yesterday. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the details because, no offence to everyone, but it is like private and confidential. Really, I don't need to like hurt anyone, but I just prefer to keep everything private. I do. You just never know with people that they could go around saying stuff. I don't think people would say anything about me because they know me like very well, but you just never know, do you? So right. Also, if you like video, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying it. Until then, guys, I forgot. Sorry, I did it late. I tried to squeeze it in. Squeeze it in a bit late. I don't know when I'll be back with my next video, but I'll soon work it out, and I'll soon work all this out, and you'll soon find out. It'll be a nice surprise for you all. Until then, guys, see you next time. Up the Wolves. Goodbye.